Tarik Skubal is vying to do what has been done by only 11 previous hurlers in history, and by no American League pitcher in a quarter century: win back-to-back Cy Young awards. Skubal makes this rare and difficult feat appear possible and perhaps likely, because as amazing as the Detroit Tigers left-hander was in the 2024 season, in which he was not only a unanimous Cy Young winner, but a pitching Triple Crown winner, he's actually been even better so far this year. Skubal's ERA, ERA+, fielding independent pitching mark, walks and hits per inning pitched, and strikeout-to-walk ratio this season are all superior to last season, and he's pitching deeper into games than he did before. Skubal's every start for the first-place Tigers is a show unto itself. This ultra-competitive ace among aces is essentially competing against his own impressive precedent, and winning. And if you know a bit about his background, this should not be a surprise. Tarik Skubal was born with a clubbed left foot that required casts and a corrective surgery soon after he was born. He grew up in a small home in a small town in western Arizona with 3 highly competitive brothers. His father, Russ, was a longtime high school basketball coach, and when the Skubals decided to house another boy from the area who was dealing with family troubles, they suddenly had a home overflowing with enough boys to field a basketball lineup. As the second youngest of the Skubal sons, Tarik constantly had to play up against tough competition in his sports-obsessed household. It made him unafraid of challenges, such as when he went out for the football team as a high school senior and wound up winning the starting job at center. Skubal also played high school basketball, but baseball and pitching became his focus, and Seattle University was the only Division I school to offer him a scholarship. As a freshman All-American in 2015, Skubal began to look like a prominent MLB draft pick in the making, but an elbow injury requiring Tommy John surgery forced him to miss most of 2016 and all of 2017 and affected his standing among scouts. On the heels of a successful but walk-prone 2018 spring season, Skubal was taken by the Tigers in the 9th round with the 255th overall pick in that year's draft. With his long arms, high leg kick, and jet-fueled fastball, Skubal very quickly emerged as one of the top pitching prospects in the sport. He made his major league debut in 2020, and by 2022 was beginning to find his footing before another elbow injury that required another surgery, this time to repair a frayed flexor tendon. Once again, Skubal summoned something within himself to turn injury adversity into an opportunity to come back stronger. He was a breakout star in the second half of 2023, and then, in 2024, he was a force of nature. Skubal held opponents to 2 runs or fewer in 24 of his 31 starts, and did so over at least 6 innings, 21 times. And in leading the AL in wins, ERA, and strikeouts, he became just the 22nd player in Major League history to win the pitching Triple Crown, making him a no-brainer for unanimous Cy Young honors. Skubal was the fulcrum around which the Tigers' special brand of pitching chaos operated. He pitched them into the postseason and helped them upset the Astros in the Wild Card Series and take the division-winning Guardians to a decisive 5th game in the division series. Only in that 5th game did he finally crack, when a Lane Thomas grand slam sealed the Tigers' fate. Rather than let that first taste of October defeat send him spiraling, Skubal came back this season stronger. He got a measure of revenge against the Guardians with perhaps the best start of his life on May 25th, when he needed just 96 pitches to record a 2-hit, complete game shutout with 0 walks and 13 strikeouts.
He claps on the mound, the first ever complete game shutout for Tarik Skubal.
That was the most strikeouts ever in what's known as a Maddox, an ultra-efficient shutout requiring less than 100 pitches. As of this recording, Skubal has had 7 total scoreless outings of at least 6 innings. He's had 3 more in which he allowed only a run. The rate stats suggest that he's been even better in 2025 than he was in 2024. His 2.15 ERA is lower than his league-best 2.39 mark of a year ago. His 1.84 ERA plus is 16 points higher than his 2024 mark. His fielding independent pitching figure is more than a half a point better than 24, and his walks and hits per inning pitched are nearly a full point lower. Skubal thrives with one of the absolute best put-away pitches in baseball, a changeup that held batters to a 197 average against last year, and has held them to a ridiculous 152 average this year. When Skubal pitched before a national television audience on Sunday Night Baseball recently, Each of his first 5 strikeout victims in the Twins lineup were retired by that changeup. And Skubal took a perfect game into the 5th inning. He wound up tying his career best with 13 Ks. Overall, Skubal has increased his strikeout rate by 3 percentage points this season and lowered his walk rate by more than a full point. The early AL Cy Young field is crowded, but Skubal's sustained dominance is rare. So is his name. We're talking about the first Tarik in MLB history, after all. Before he was born, his mother Laura read a story about a young boy from a rich family in Europe that would take the clothes from his closet and give them to the poor. The boy, named Tarik, so inspired Laura that she named her son after him. The name translates to, quote, he who knocks at the door. Now Tarik Skubal might be knocking on the door to his 2nd consecutive Cy Young, something that hasn't been achieved in the majors since Jacob deGrom went back-to-back for the Mets in 2018 to 2019, and hasn't been done in the American League since Pedro Martinez's consecutive Cys for the Red Sox in 1999 and 2000. The Tigers ace has become appointment viewing for all MLB fans. Skubal is a 9th-round pick who has become the game's most prominent number 1, and what he showed us in 2024 appears to just be the beginning.